IoT platform, as I've said, is something that we're very proud of here in MKL. It was born out of frustration, I would say, and just from frustration from the founding members of MKL, as we've seen and watched and been involved in the very traditional way of looking after a building, be that from looking after your AC, your emergency lights, your BMS system, your HVAC, Legionella testing, whatever that might be. And we've always thought that there's a better way to do this, but there's a better way to do this that involves technology and is also a bit sexier than having someone like myself or John, my business partner, turn up to your site and do some compliance work, which nobody wants to see. So we've designed Renegade. And one of the reasons why we're bringing you Renegade Ignite came from early iterations of our build of the platform. What we found very quickly with clients that we were engaging was when it came to IoT, a lot of clients that they needed to start their digital journey. Some didn't know where to begin. Others didn't even know they had a budget. Others had a budget in mind. Others didn't know how complex it was going to be. Some of the POCs that we were involved with, proof of concepts at the early stage of our birth, were 30, 40, 50,000 pound proof of concept IoT platforms. And as we found, a lot of clients pushed them away. They never went to scale with those projects. Only less than 30% of those projects went to scale. And the reasons why they didn't go to scale, as you can see on the screen, too complex, too expensive, not secure. They didn't feel like the IoT platform was secure. There are different videos that we have on our YouTube channel that talks about IoT security. It is a bit of a misnomer. There's a lot of myths out there around IoT security. You already have those things in place if you've got an enterprise IT system to mitigate some of those challenges. And also the lacking of ROI. I mean, again, Hugh just gave you a fantastic one there from a Legionella testing point of view. To stop a man in a van going and doing that, it's 81% saving in labor. I mean, phenomenal figures. But what we have done and what we've created is something on a PowerPoint slide, and I'm going to move away quickly. Use the hardware side and also that DT sits on. And what we do is we wanted to bring that data, something that was quite personable for us, which was very straightforward for us to understand, which was not scary. If you think that is a reason why we've called this Renegade Ignite, is it's to ignite the IoT journey, the digital transformation within your organization. We wanted to use the very best hardware to bring that in. So without no further ado, I'm just going to share my other screen, and hopefully
you got two screens. That's amazing.
Oh, I've got. I'm ambidextrous. Yeah, that's the only way I can multitask. Is with two screens. But other than that, I'm no good. So hopefully you'll be able to see that. What you'll be able to see here is it's a first for us. And the reason why this is a first is we're very good on socials in pushing things out there. We've sent loads of screenshots. This is our first birth, so to speak, of the Renegade platform, but also Renegade Ignite into the real world, so people can see, touch, and feel it. And those sensors there that Hugh talked about sit behind this platform. And as I said at the start, we are very much in the mindset of bringing people the best technology, but bringing people the best technology that isn't scary, isn't expensive, is secure, and is not complex. So what we built here, especially for this webinar, is a demonstration. And it was all things demonstration. We wanted to show you how those sensors worked. So if I start with, if you follow my mouse, and I start with the server room here, someone's going to come into the server room in the moment and open the door, and we will be able to know that someone's come into the server room and opened the door. For anybody that works in IT, you know that the server room is a sacred ground. You can't go in there without permission. You can't bring your phones, and God forbid you do anything in there that you shouldn't be doing. So what we've designed here is just to show you some very simple triggers that will let you know, for example, if someone's going to the server room. We also have a temperature sensor in there within the server room. Again, those that have worked in industries where server rooms have not been cooled to their best possible way, and I'm sure people watching this will know who they are, it's massively fraught with issues. Things break, things don't work well. Technology hates heat. So keeping that room at a constant temperature of around 18, 19 Celsius is the best place for it to be. Anything above that, then you're going to start to have problems as well. And what we've also designed is, let's say someone's coming to the server room now, and then they've closed that door. What they are going to do, because they are in the server room and because it's a sacred ground, as we said, they're going to check in. And we want them to check in because they're going to go over and they're going to see if there's a problem. So as they're checking that server room, they're going to alert if there is a problem. And you can see at the top right left there, that trigger has just gone off. Now, what has happened is it's also generated an alert down here at the bottom of the screen. But also to use points, I'm going to just show you my phone. You can see I have had a message come through saying, I am in server room 1, come immediately, I've found an issue. And that's automatic. So that can be to your phone, that can be a visual alert onto the actual screen as well. The reason why we've done it in that way is because why reinvent the wheel? Disruptive Technologies have got a fantastic alerting system. We have built that into Renegade to be able to give you guys an understanding of what is happening as well. And there's a couple of other things that I want to show you. Hugh made a very good point around the NHS. And if you imagine insulin fridges, we've come across this as a case study ourselves within MKL. We looked at a number of hospitals where they had insulin fridges on every floor. Now, tens of thousands, and sometimes hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of stock in those fridges. And what was required was a doctor would go to that fridge and they would look at the fridge, they would see the temperature, they would make sure the fridge had power, and they would manually log that onto a clipboard every hour. And as you can imagine, especially in this day and age, we want our doctors to be doing what they are trained to do, and that is saving lives, not going to check stock. So what we've done here, and as you can also do using Renegade Ignite and using the DT sensors, is you can do that automatically. You don't need someone to go and check it. So what we're going to see here is someone's going to open the insulin fridge. So as you'll be able to see on the screen, that insulin fridge is opened. So that will log to let me know that someone has opened and been in that insulin fridge. And also, more importantly, we are monitoring that temperature. That is crucial, especially from a stock control point of view. What we've also done is, because it is so vital, we've brought that down into this analysis here. And we've done some dummy data so you can see what happens when the data drops and also when the temperature rises and falls. So as you can see, if you follow my mouse, the insulin fridge, as it was just getting installed, was at 23 degrees. Not conducive at all for that sort of medicine in that temperature. As it's been installed, the engineers, they're very busy. They've put it in, they've turned it on, and then they've left because they've got another job to do. What they have done, unfortunately, is they've set the temperature too cold. So it's dropped to 3.42. Now, again, if you had to go and check that manually, it would be fraught with difficulty, because I wouldn't know. I'm not an insulin expert. I wouldn't know if it was supposed to be set at 3.4 or 4.2 or 6.8. But if you have those alerts and triggers set within Renegade Ignite using the DT sensors, you will know that. And as you will see, this data is tracked over the course of 2 a.m., 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock at night. Nobody's noticing this unless you are being alerted that there's something happening. And what you can find here is an engineer's then been on site, they've reset the system, the temperature's risen, as the engineer is resetting the fridge, they've taken the stock out and put that somewhere safe. Now the temperature is back in and falling down to the adequate level of 7.8 to 8 Celsius. Now, again, think about that from an operational point of view. What do you look after? What have you got that you want to monitor? A great example with one of the attendees today is a butcher. So the butcher has numerous fridges across his site, and he has to not only log those temperatures manually, he has health inspectors come and check those temperatures. But what if he could do that automatically? What if within his operation he could have a screen like this with 8, 9, 10 temperature sensors showing him live exactly how that produce is performing? But again, logging that, could send that to the health inspector without having to actually have someone come on site and charge him. And as you would imagine, the possibilities with this are endless. And that is the whole point of Ignite. We want to be able to bring you something that is really cool, non-scary, it's not expensive, it is at a set price of £1,500 is Renegade Ignite. We won't charge you any more than that or any less. And for that, you get really cool sensors, a dashboard that you could log on to, and you get a year's SaaS fee as well included with that. And that is the whole point, to start your digital journey. Don't see this as an enterprise level beginning of your IoT journey. It is very much a toe in the water approach. But the cool thing is once you have Renegade Ignite, you don't need to buy anything else. You can add more sensors as you go. What if you get another insulin fridge? What if you want another server room to monitor? What if you want to notice if there's any Legionella or a water leak? You can do that as well with these sensors. The water detection sensor is something very personable for us. As you can see on the dashboard, it is quite beautiful in its way of how it flows. And again, if water is detected through this sensor, it will detect the water, it will send an alert, and you will be informed if things are wet that shouldn't be, as there are examples of what that could be. Renegade Ignite, and that is as far as I want to take it. I could go down numerous examples of where we could deploy this, but what I've hoped that we've done here today in this short webinar is sparked your interest, and that is what this is about. You are in very good hands with DT from a hardware point of view and also from an MKL point of view. The two parties have come together because what we don't believe in is selling an IoT dream. We want to make that dream a reality and get this installed on your site, get people engaged, and then you start your digital journey, because the opportunities and the potential with that are endless. Thank you.